I'm a scientist. You're a scientist. So, this flume right here represents an old field. Now let's look at the description for this flume right here. It's going to be on your screen, so read it with me, okay? This flume holds soil from an old sandy field. A long time ago, people used to come here and dump used motor oil from their cars. We're going to pretend this food coloring is the motor oil. So, we are going to take a look at our sheets real quick because we have a few questions we're going to answer before we start. So the first question we're going to answer is, did we read the card? Yeah, we read the card. Now circle the flume name that you see over on the side that matches the flume that we are at. That would be the old field. Now I want you to write down 2 words that describe the soil that you see in this flume. So write down those 2 words. Did you get those words? You write something down? Okay. And the last question we're going to ask is, what kind of soil type is this? Is there no soil? Is it sand? Is it clay? Is it humus? Circle the one that you think it is. All right, so now that we've answered those questions, we are going to run our experiment, okay? So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna measure out a full pitcher of water, which is gonna represent our rain. So we're gonna get a full pitcher of water here, maybe a little more water. It's a heavy rain. There we go. And I'm gonna set that rain right there. It's gonna be waiting to fall from the sky. Now, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna dig a hole right down here at the bottom of the flume, and we're gonna drop in 4 drops. Oh, we got 5 drops. 5 drops of motor oil, and then we're gonna cover it up. All right, now we've covered the hole. The next thing we're gonna do is think about what is gonna happen when the water goes down this flume. Think about what kind of effect it's gonna have. What is gonna happen when the water gets down to where that used motor oil is buried in the soil? Did you think about that? Do you have kind of an idea? Okay, keep that idea in your head, or maybe you can write it down. You can write it down on your sheet, that's okay. And once you have that idea in your head, we're gonna make it rain right here on this old field. Now I'm gonna pour the water up here at the top, and we're gonna let it flow down the flume. So there it goes. There goes the water. All right, let's take a look at that water. What happened to that water? So let's take a look at the bottom of the bucket real quick. What do you see at the bottom of the bucket there? Do you see any of the soil from the old field in the bottom of the bucket? What process do you think put that there? All right, so it rained on the field, and now we have the water that has run through the soil right here in this bucket. We've collected the water after it's gone through the field. What does this water look like to you? Does it look like good, clear, nice drinking water? Or do you think it might be a little bit polluted? Well, let's answer some of the questions on your sheet for after we've run the experiment. Now, when the water ran down the flume, did some of that water soak into the soil, or did it all stay right on top and the soil still very unmoist? What do you think? Write down your answer. Circle yes or no. What was the speed of the water as it went down the flume? Was it moving really fast Or is it going really slow as it moved down the flume? Circle your answer. Now, what about this water? What does it look like? How would you describe the quality of this water? Is it clear or is it cloudy? Do you see any chunks in that water? What do you think? Write down your answer. What color is the water? You need to write that down too, because that water might not look like normal water. Now, what processes did you see as the water moved down the soil? Did you see any of those processes that we talked about earlier? Did you see any erosion? Did you see any deposition? Did you see flooding? Did the water overflow the flume and spill outside? Circle any of the processes that you observed as we ran this experiment. Did somebody do something to this habitat? Was anything changed, or was it completely natural? And the final question, is this a natural habitat or is it a polluted habitat? So if we look at the water here, this water is very, very blue. And remember, that blue represents motor oil, so this water is very polluted. Now, I do want to say this before we move on. Using cars that have to use motor oil is not a bad thing. If you don't use motor oil, your car's not going to run very long. But when you get that oil changed, or if you do it at home on your own, remember to make sure that motor oil that's been used is placed and recycled at the proper place so that it doesn't end up in an old field and then eventually maybe end up in the water that comes out of your tap. Because if you wouldn't drink this water, nobody would drink this water. So let's go check out some of the other habitats and what water does there.